we're in March 2022. It's been just short of 2 years since we did the first video. And we're doing this video on quite a special day. What day is it, Blue?
It's my birthday today, my 17th birthday.
Yeah, so we just thought we'd film today because there's been quite a lot happening. And the reason that we decided to do another video is because it's Trans Day of Visibility on the 31st of March. So you wanted to give people an update.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So just to recap on the first video that we'd done. So that was back in June 2020, wasn't it? And we'd just been in lockdown for a couple of months, hadn't we? So you weren't in school. So quite a lot's happened since then. So we're just going to sort of talk a little bit about what's happened. And I've actually got some questions here from Pink, which is the Lived Experience Network group for LGBTQ plus people at the NSPCC, and they've asked some questions. So, do you want to just start off by giving us a bit of an update on what's happened over the last 2 years?
Since the past videos, I've started testosterone, so hormone therapy. I've started college. I've made new friend groups. I've met new people. A lot has changed. Yeah.
Right, okay, let's break that down a bit then. Okay, so there's been loads going on, hasn't there? So you started college in September. Yeah. Do you just want to talk a little bit about what that's been like?
Yeah, so obviously my secondary school experience wasn't the best. So when I started college, I was really, really nervous, whether it was about bullying or being accepted or finding friendship groups and things like that. So I was really, really nervous, and I think, it's normal to be nervous about things like college. So once I started, I found a friend group really, really quickly, and it was really easily to be accepted and, find people that I connected with. So that was really nice, and, my lessons have been great, my lectures have been great, and I've just had an overall pretty good experience with college. There's been some ups and downs, some negatives, but overall it's been pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I'd agree. I mean, I think it was fairly early doors when you started at college that you found your tribe, didn't you? I think we talked about that last time. So you found people, and we've got a load of them coming around tonight for your birthday party, haven't we? So that's exciting. So in terms of the where you've got to with your sort of treatment journey, do you just want to explain a little bit about what's happened since the last video around that?
Yeah, so as I said, I've started testosterone, and so far it's been really, really good. I decided to go privately, it's not by the NHS, and it's been brilliant, to be honest. Like, I wasn't expecting to start testosterone until I was about 18, 19, but we went privately and I started it, and it was really positive. It's been a really great experience, and it's just made me overall a lot more comfortable within myself, which has been really, really helpful.
Yeah, it was. So we were on the waiting list for the Gender Identity Development Service for. Well, you've just been seen by them, but we can talk about that in a minute. So you've been on the waiting list since you were 14, and we only just got to see them last week. Yeah, we went to Leeds last week for a full day assessment with them, but it got to the point where the waiting list was just, you didn't seem to be getting to the front of the queue, did you? So we did our research and made the decision that, we would source some private treatment for you. So do you want to explain what that treatment is a little bit?
So it's testosterone, and it comes in a little white bottle. It's Testogel, and you can rub it on your arm, on your belly, on your thighs. And basically, it makes you appear more like a cisgender male. So it makes your voice drop, you can have body fat redistribution, grow more facial hair, you can get a receding hairline, and it can affect you mentally as well as physically. So there are tons and tons of changes that I can mention,
Yeah, so I've noticed, I've got a bit of a cold today, so I've got a deep voice as well, but I've noticed that your voice has dropped. Sometimes I can't tell the difference between you and Paul, which is my partner, when you come in. And there is, well, I thought there'd be mood issues, but there hasn't.
I feel like
been.
Since starting testosterone, I've become obviously more comfortable in myself. Therefore, I'm less upset. I'm a bit less emotional, and therefore I'm less angry in general. I know a lot of people say testosterone makes you angry, and if it does, that's fine. It happens to some people. But for me personally, it's just made me more comfortable in myself. Therefore, more calm, more accepting of everything, and just less worried about a lot of things in life, because my main issue was dysphoria. My voice was too high, my facial hair looked good enough. but now I've become more accepting of that, and it just makes me calmer about everything, I guess.
I'd agree. I'd really agree with that. So it's been it was a difficult decision to go private because it's quite contentious, isn't it? But we're making sure that it's as safe as possible for you with regular blood tests and making sure that your prescription is right for you. And you haven't had any issues with your prescription.
No.
So you're getting that from a well-known chemist brand, and there hasn't been any sort of problems there, has there? Okay. Do you just want to just go back to college a little bit? So your GCSEs, obviously, you didn't sit there, you got your grades. How did you do?
I think I did pretty well, yeah. That's a voice crack, but I think I did pretty well. Obviously, because I moved schools and things like that, I was worried that my grades might drop, and obviously, as I previously mentioned, I'd been quite severely bullied, and I didn't really get along with anyone in my secondary school. So I thought I'd do pretty badly. Obviously, I was really stressed with everything, whether it was translated or not. So I thought I wouldn't do too well, but I passed every subject. I've got into college. So I think on the aspect of that, everything went quite smoothly, positively, yeah.
Yeah, great. And you're doing criminology, sociology, and art.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and you seem to be doing really
definitely.
well and loving college, which is great. So the last video that we did when you were 15, I think you were right in the middle of that bullying experience, weren't you? So could you talk to us a little bit about sort of how that is now, sort of online, and if there's anything that you're experiencing out in the community?
Yeah. I think since I started college, as I said, I expected quite a lot of bullying, obviously because I'm quite alternative, I'm trans, I'm different, I guess, in a lot of aspects. So I was expecting quite a lot of bullying, but since starting college and, since making new friendship groups, whether that's in or out of education, I've not really experienced anything. I've had people come up to me and ask questions, and I was scared that they were going to pick on me, but it's just been people genuinely being inquisitive about the situation, and it's been great with college and everything. I've not experienced any negativity whatsoever, and it's just been a pretty positive experience.
Yeah, I mean, it got me thinking, because we went to the Gender Identity Development Service last week, didn't we, for an initial assessment. So we talked all day with the social worker and with the psychologist about you and your dysphoria. But it's, as I was listening to you there, it's the being on tea has really, really helped with that. Having a good friendship group has really helped with that. So it's quite nice to be able to report that bullying is, is we're in a very different place to where we were a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I feel like when you're being bullied and you're having difficult times, whether it's bullying or not, it feels like it's never going to end, and everyone says it's always going to get better, and you feel like it never will. But I know I'm not the first person to say this, but it does get better, genuinely. And I never believed anyone when they said that, but since starting college and since making new friends, it's got 1,000 times better.
Yeah. What about online?
Online, I've I have a TikTok account with a pretty big platform, and since I have that many people following me, I think that I'd get a lot of hate via that. And I don't at all. I have a few snarly comments which I just kind of laugh at because they're quite funny. But online, I get next to nothing. I just have positive people and just compliments and just people being inspired by the videos that I make and stuff like that, which is really, really nice. It's an extra layer of support and an extra layer of just comfortability that I have in my life. And it's just really helpful. You'd expect a trans individual who's alternative to get quite a lot of hate online. And I genuinely don't, and that's really comforting, yeah.
Do you think the hate that you do, because you do get some, because you
just
sort of said, Mom, look at this son sort of said this. But because you're quite a resilient young person, you can brush that off. You don't take things to heart. So your resilience was sort of remarked upon when we were at the meeting last week with the Tavistock compartment, wasn't it? And I think that you've had continued support at home. Do you think the fact that people approach us quite a bit, don't they? Either you or me for support. Do you think that? What do you think about that? I don't think I've ever asked you that before. What?
Yeah. I mean, I've made a few videos and I've had to DM people, have conversations with people.
What, DM? What? Or direct message?
Direct message, on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. whether they're wanting support, like how did you start tea, Blue, I'm being bullied, I don't know what to do kind of thing. And, you know, it's nice to be able to give support, and then it's just, especially if it's around like trans subjects, I just feel like people only see me for being trans or only see you for being a trans parent.
Yeah.
And especially when you put like hours and hours into making a video or having a conversation with someone and they don't seem to appreciate it. And, you know, I really do enjoy helping people. I love it, but I don't just want to be seen as that one trans guy.
Yeah.
It's like, I know a lot of like trans YouTubers, they're not just seen as YouTubers, as they're known as like, no offense to trans YouTuber. And I don't want to be seen like that. It's like on my TikTok, I don't make every single video about me being trans because that's not how I want to be viewed. But then again, I want to help people and I want to make people aware.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I suppose I'm the same as well. So, you know, we regularly, both of us, will get, I often get friends of friends of friends contact me. And it's often things like, my friend's got a 10-year-old and they want to be a boy or they want to be a girl. What advice would you give? And I get emails, I would say, at least once a month. Yeah. And you get messaged quite a lot, don't you? So there's a lot of young people that...
It's like I was sitting in a lecture, scrolling through like TikTok messages, being like, "Hi Blue, how did you do this? Hi Blue, can you help me with this? Hi Blue, sorry to bother you." And like I love helping people, as I said. It's just quite draining sometimes, but then again, you know, the reward you get from knowing that you've helped someone out is really, really helpful.
It's good, and it feels quite nice, isn't it, for people to be able to come to you. But it's you do quite a bit, don't you? And you contributed to the a big piece of research that they're doing at Tavistock and Parkman, which I think has given you another opportunity to sort of talk things through. So that's been good. So all in all, it's been pretty decent couple of years. Yeah. Pretty decent.
Yeah, there's been some ups and downs, but it's pretty positive.
Yeah, good. So what's something that people watching can celebrate with you? What's been the biggest thing for you over the last couple of years?
I think, you know, looking back at whether it's old videos, old pictures, just thinking in my own head, just like how far I've come, whether it's with GCSEs or with being bullied or like starting testosterone. I think there's a lot of things that can correlate with that. And, you know, it's just nice to be able to look back and think things got better, which is really, really helpful. But, you know, I can post online, "Hi guys, started tea today," and I'll get like hundreds of comments being like, "Blue, I'm so proud of you, Blue, like all this and that." And it's just nice to have like a network of people that I can celebrate things with. It's really nice. Yeah,
that's cool, isn't it? So people along that journey with you get it as well. That's cool. Okay, so the next question is around: do you know other trans young people, and are you part of that community? So do you want to just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I have a lot of trans friends because I feel like, you know, when you're in the LGBT community, a lot of people make LGBT friends because, you know, you share interests, you share like, you know, just general things, I guess. So I do have a lot of trans friends, and we all get along, and you know, I'll run to one of them for advice and they'll run to me for advice, and we can just like talk about things that only us understand, because I feel like a cis person will never understand a trans person's dysphoria. Like, they can understand it like to the surface of it, but they'll never know how it feels like to wake up and feel like that. So it's just nice to have someone that you can connect to that can genuinely understand you, and it's just nice having someone there all the time and finding people that are like you, because I felt like I was a stranger for like whether it's primary school or secondary school, and I thought I'm the only person like this. And when you finally meet someone, whether they're trans or they just share interests in general, it's really nice.
Yeah. So do you find that because you came out as trans when I shouldn't say came out, because it's actually just who you are, isn't it? It's a funny old phrase that. But so you were quite young, weren't you? Do you find yourself around young people now who are gender question, either online or...
I think like gender's obviously a huge spectrum, and I think, you know, no one's necessarily 100% straight or 100% gay. And, you know, a lot of people are like, I have a friend that will come up to me and think, "Oh, I want to change my pronouns to he, they, or she, they," or something like that. And then they'll start exploring their gender a bit more. And I've had a lot of friends that have either come up to me or just had general conversations with me that, you know, they question their gender. And I feel like it's a very common thing nowadays, at least in like my friendship group and stuff like that.
I'd agree with that, because your friendship group, they quite often, you know, there's the gender fluidity, but then, you know, they will sort of try out a male gender, try out a female gender, try out a bit of non-binary, and you young people, you just sort of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Even when young people change their names, so it feels very different to to when I was younger. People would have really, really struggled with that, but now you just sort of go with the flow. You lot, don't you? And there's a real respect there. I think for young people who are a trans or gender question from your particular group, there's a real acceptance, isn't there? Which is great, because we often just hear about all the negatives to do with trans young people. More likely to be physically assaulted, more likely to have mental health problems, but there's some real strengths and some real positives. So
I think, once you've got to grips with yourself and you find people that are like you, it's easy to understand each other, as I said, and it's just really nice to have that community of people that get you and accept you and stuff like that. Yeah.
He's not like belonging to a tribe, is there? Yeah, it's good. Okay, so my final question here is, what would you tell Baby Blue, or a younger version of yourself?
Yeah. I think, there's another voice crack. I think I'd just say be yourself. There was a lot of times where, I was in a group of friends that were like the popular blonde-haired girls, and I'd always try and fit in with them, go to their parties, paint my nails, stuff like that. And I'd just say, be yourself, because if you are who you genuinely feel like you have to be and feel like the person you are, people are going to come out the woodworks that appreciate you for you, if that makes sense. So if you're pretending to be someone that you're not going to make friends that love you for you, and you're not going to love you for you. So I just say be yourself. Things genuinely do get better, and things do get a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, because I know that you've talked a lot, haven't you, about just not knowing how to be yourself when you were little, and now you've got a really strong sense of who Blue Squillino is.
I feel like finding yourself can be really tricky, because I remember when I was 13 and my outfits were something interesting, but in finding yourself, you're going to go through some odd little phases, but I think that all adds up into finding who you really are. I'm still changing myself now, figuring out who I am still, and I think you'll always be doing that, because you're always changing, but it's just doing what makes you comfortable, and not thinking, would future me regret this, would past me regret this. Just be what you want to be in the moment.
Be in the now.
The only thing that's promised is the right now. You don't know what's going to happen in a year. Just do what makes you happy right now. Yeah.
We didn't mention, did we, about your name change and your gender marker?
Yeah. So I've legally changed my name to Blue, and I'm currently in the process of changing my gender marker to male.
What does that mean? Because not everyone's going to understand that.
So on my passport and stuff like that, obviously it's female, because my biological sex is female. Currently in the process of changing it to male, so on my passport it'll say Blue Ruby Squillino and then male underneath, which is really great. Yeah, it's really, really affirming to have that. It makes me feel validated.
Yeah, it's good. It's little steps along the way, isn't it? So in another couple of years, hopefully we'll do another video and we'll be in a different place again. But thank you. Right, it's time to go and celebrate your birthday now. Okay, so I think that's a wrap.
There you go.